Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel. We're going to have a look at an Atozy video called Top Donator Ended This IRL Streamer's Life. And the caption, "Oh, she rejected me, that's why I did it." God, okay, so I just want to say, please pardon my language, but reading that, this guy's a fucking loser. Like, my dude, he is a fucking loser. He's probably like that weirdo that I heard about that thinks he's married to the streamer Pokimane. That dude was like some old balding dude that's under the delusion he's married to that streamer. So much that he moved to the same state Pokimane lives in. Like, what the fuck? Of course, that whole story is that dude was tricked by an AI chatbot that he thinks is Pokimane. But anyway, the details about this one I heard is basically this Korean streamer. She was popular, and the guy that ended her was a obsessed fan that was her top donator. Like he was super crazy and delusional. Like I think his whole deal is like he believed he was, because he donated so much money, that he was in a relationship with this streamer. Like, he was so insane and delusional that that's just how his stupid, I'm gonna say it, retarded little mind thought. And she got creeped out by him, and I think she tried to like block him or like just ignore him or whatever the fuck. And during a stream, that dude just showed up and then basically kidnapped her and then killed her, apparently. That's what I heard about it, so I don't know. Let's check out the full video now. The Atozy video. Like, it's fucked up. That's all I'm gonna say. It's like very, very fucked up. And this is why some people become VTubers, so they don't have their identity out there.
This streamer just finished her stream like it was any other day, but 30 minutes later, her top donator ended her life. This is just one of those awfully tragic stories, which unfortunately aren't even anomalies anymore, as this pretty recently happened in Japan as well. But a Korean live streamer with over 300,000
the Japanese one was different though.
Last time, 30 minutes later, she was gone, and the person responsible wasn't some masked stranger in the shadows. It was one of her biggest donators. This man spent over $70,000 on her streams, a man who pretended to be some tech CEO, and the streamer's name is Yoonji Ah. And I really don't enjoy covering stories like this, but I think they do matter, especially for anyone who lives their life online or makes their money there. So Yoon, she was 27 years old. She was a growing influencer, a live streamer, and even an actress with big dreams. She streamed on TikTok and other platforms, building a loyal audience. And as of October 2nd, her last post included the announcement of her passing. Because on September 11th, 2025, she finished what could have been a normal stream from Yeongjeon Island. She logged off, probably thinking about her future collab streams or dinner plans, but within 30 minutes, she was attacked. Hours later, her body was found on a remote mountainside in Muju County. Police say that she was strangled, and I saw the sun-covered images of where her body was found, and I'm really not comfortable showing those here. But sadly, they're out there on the internet. Just know, it was very obvious someone tried to hide her. The guy who did it, his name is Choi. He's a man in his 50s. Online, he called...
You hear that? It was a dude in his 50s. Why is it always a creepy old person? It's always a creepy old person that fucking stalks these streamers. It's always a fucking old... My dick don't work, motherfucker. Like, what the hell? Why? Fucking ancient. You fucking walking dinosaur. Fucking fossil looking ass. Like, why is it always a creepy old person? He's probably balding too. That's why he's wearing that fucking hat. I could see he's wearing a fucking hat. They just censored it. Why is it always like some creepy, probably balding person?
himself Black Cat. And Black Cat wasn't just any fan, he was a VIP. This is a guy who would drop eye-watering amounts of donations during streams.
Jesus.
The guy who popped up over and over again. He spent over 100 million won, which is roughly $70,000. He told everyone he was a wealthy CEO of an IT company. You know, the classic like, hey look, I'm this pompous big guy, but in reality,
hey look, I work at Nintendo. I'm the fucking asshole that files the lawsuits.
he was nothing. The dude was buried in debt. His house had literally been seized in a forced auction the day the incident happened. And I really do not think that's a coincidence. It sounds more like a trigger that set him off. I mean, just from looking at the story, it's obvious he was not living a good life. He was completely living a lie. But like many people with fragile egos, and I guess way too much time on their hands, he built this whole fake identity and persona and threw money at someone to feel powerful. And eventually, Troy managed to do what a lot of these big spenders try to do.
So he's
Blur the
fucking
lines
stupid.
between being a fan and someone who is directly involved with their life. He promised Yoon that he could grow her audience, get her sponsorships, boost her career, and just work together. That's what he wanted. He sold himself as a guy with connections to her.
Always a
And
creepy
unfortunately, when
old
you're a young
guy.
creator trying to build something, that could sound like a good deal. So Yoon went along with
Or if you're a dude, sometimes you get some psycho chick.
it for a while. But apparently, Choi wasn't just invested financially. He was possessive and started demanding more and more of her.
It's either a
Basically, this
psycho
dude
chick or
started
a
acting
creepy
like a
old guy.
partner
It's
that
one or the
Yoon
other.
never agreed to have. And eventually, Yoon had enough.
Or a creepy
She
old
decided to
psycho
cut
chick.
ties. And this is where things got terrifying. Because I guess when someone like Choi feels the control slipping away, it doesn't end with a quiet unfollow. CCTV footage from that day shows him kneeling in front of her, literally begging her to stay in their partnership. And that is when the moment happened. Because at
Bro, you're in your 50s. What the
3:24 p.m., Yoon tries to get out of the car, but she doesn't make it out. Choi grabs her, drags her back inside, and slams the door shut. And unfortunately, this is the last time she's seen alive. And then according to the eventual confession, Choi ended Yoon's life shortly after that. He then shoved her into a suitcase. So please put this guy under the prison. He then drove out to the mountains to dump her, and apparently the guy thought he was some sort of like criminal mastermind because on the way there he stopped 8 separate times to, I guess, throw off investigators. Because, you know, there's nothing like saying, hey, I'm a criminal genius, like leaving a GPS breadcrumb trail across half the country and begging on your knees right before the crime actually happened. I'll call it what it is. It's pathetic, cruel, and just plain stupid. This guy is literally a Hall of Fame moron, and her body was discovered later that day. She was gone less than an hour after her final stream. So essentially, she was doing what she loved to do up until the moment someone stole everything from her. The world is just honestly, it's just so sick and twisted. This just sucks. Troy was arrested 12 hours after the body was found. He tried to play innocent at first, the whole like, oh, I don't know what happened. And then when they found the body, everything cracked. He admitted everything then. Essentially, the whole fake CEO confidence completely vanished in about 2 seconds. And this is probably because it never existed in the first place. This guy was in deep financial ruin, and he tried to, I guess, make himself feel important through...
He put himself in debt because he was obsessed with this. How fucking stupid.
donations. And when Yoon cut him off, the fantasy just completely collapsed and he lashed out violently. This is textbook parasocial obsession. These aren't healthy, oh, I support your content vibes. This is, I bought a version of you that only exists in my head, and then I'll punish you if you step out of what I imagined you being like.
He created a little fan fiction in his head, just like how the Twitter schizos create little fan fictions in their heads about people they dislike. And that's why they come up with all sorts of lies on Twitter about the people they don't like. This guy just his little fan fiction was, oh wait, you're not like my fan fiction. I'm a go insane. Like, fuck this guy. Like, seriously.
This is so messed up. And when the news broke, South Korea was furious. Creators started sharing their own stories of obsessive fans. Big streamers, one by one, started being very worried about how they would conduct themselves in public. For example, QDC Cinderella and Valkyrie even pulled out of TwitchCon 2025, saying the case terrified them. And I see why they would be scared, especially if you're a female streamer, because this isn't a one-off thing. There's tons of nut jobs out there, and for some reason, it just seems to be so much worse for the female streamers. Because you have fans that convince themselves that they have personal relationships with someone who doesn't even know their full name. I mean, it was just earlier this year that we covered a guy who was completely
It's like that. It's like that scene from the Avengers. You took everything from me. I don't even know who you are. You know, when Thanos says that to Scar. It's kind of like that.
Events that he was married to Pokimane. Like, imagine.
Oh
a
God, he's
dude
bringing up this
decided
guy.
to literally go homeless and move to the same city as Pokimane because he thought he was married to her. That is horrifying.
Me and Pokimane has been.
Oh God. So yeah, this is the dude that's so delusional that. Okay, so his whole backstory is the dude is a creepy old balding motherfucker that's obsessed with the streamer Pokimane, and he thought he was talking to Pokimane on Twitter, but it's actually an AI chatbot that's stealing all his money because it's the scammers using an AI chatbot to convince him that they're Pokimane on an alt account, and he's so fucking stupid that he believed it, and now he's under the delusion that he's married to Pokimane because AI chatbots say so. And he moved to the state where that streamer lives, and he's homeless, and he thinks he's married to Pokimane, so he keeps. It's like he's probably hunting down that fucking streamer, and he's this creepy old balding motherfucker, probably like the guy they're talking about right now. Why is it always creepy old people? It's like, is that just like, is that? I don't know.
4 months now. Today is our 4-month anniversary. Guys, she is not single. She is taken. I know she likes to keep up her image saying that she's single and everything, but I am in a relationship with her. We're going to be meeting up soon, and we're engaged.
This guy's.
We're engaged.
No,
That's
no,
why we definitely
no.
have to discuss
No.
things. We'll be getting married soon. Very
No,
soon.
you're not.
And we will definitely stream it and let you
No.
guys know when it's happening and everything.
You absolutely do not want a person like that anywhere near that streamer. Because clearly, these guys don't even see these women as people. They're just fantasy material that they've made up in their own head. They might start with donations, but then apparently they push for contact and then control. And when reality doesn't match the fantasy they've built, apparently things get violent. And we saw this also in Japan, as I mentioned earlier. You had Ari Sato, a 22-year-old YouTuber.
Okay, yeah, so before he continues, I'll explain this one. It's actually. Okay, hold on. Wrong one. Alright, so this chick, I reacted to a video on her about Mugen. So her incident happened because so the obsessed fan that took her out, we'll just say that, she saw how mentally ill that man was and decided, you know what, he won't say no to whatever I ask. So she kept asking him for money, saying that she needed money, even though she was like one of the top streamers that earned a shit ton of money on the websites she streamed on. But yeah, she kept borrowing money for the fan, and then eventually the obsessed fan realized, oh, I'm having really bad debt and financial issues. He asked if she was going to finally pay him back. She just kept stalling and saying she would, but never would. And then they had a court case, and the court told her to pay him back, and she agreed to it, but she never paid him back. And then she even talked smack about him on one of her streams, and I think that kind of started to set him off. And then he stalked her, and yeah, he went after. Oh God, it was bad. It was actually really bad, my dudes, really bad. Anyway, let's continue.
She had her life ended while live streaming on the street in Tokyo. It's just so disgusting that this is happening.
Also, yes, there's also a bunch of evidence of like her taking that guy's money, knowing how like clearly the guy, people will say, oh, the guy just shouldn't have donated her money. But this guy was so mentally ill, he was so mentally ill and obsessed, he was never going to say no. And that's what caused that Japanese streamer's passing. Like, ugh.
Somewhat regularly now, because in this case she was walking alone streaming on Who Watch. Then a man approached her who I guess had lent her money, tracked her down through her stream, and then attacked her in broad daylight. Viewers heard her scream before the feed
Jesus
cut out.
Christ.
And the suspect, Kenji Takano, had followed her online for years. He literally hopped on a train from Oyama to Shinjuku just to do this. And the reason was a financial dispute. He'd given her money when he expected something in return. When he didn't get it, he chose violence. And I'm really interested in what the specific details on this was, because
Oh yeah, he also saw the dude that went after the Japanese streamer also probably saw her. I think he saw her as like his girlfriend or something, but then I think he also found out she had a fucking boyfriend or something. It was, I don't know, this whole the whole situation was fucked. So we had a dude that went all psychopath, and then that chick was manipulating him for money and then would not pay him back, even though she kept saying he would, and then the courts told him she would. So yeah, that whole situation is fucked right there.
severely doubt a streamer would just randomly loan money from a viewer. But unfortunately, this sounds pretty similar to what happened to Yoon now. And it's sad because every year more creators builds huge audiences, and every year there's another obsessed fan who convinces themselves that money equals ownership. And when the reality just doesn't match up with their fantasy, they explode. And this is just entitlement masked to support. And what really makes it worse is how this happens slowly. Yoon probably didn't look at Choi and think, oh, this guy is dangerous. But then slowly but surely, he became extremely dangerous. Because the dude was donating huge sums. He promised her business opportunities, he was flattering, and slowly those things just turned into complete control. And here's the heartbreaking part. Yoon knew something was wrong. Her family said that she expressed fear about his behavior in days leading up to the event. And unfortunately, when she tried to walk away, he chose to just end her life. On paper, Choi probably looked like the kind of success story that these platforms love to glorify. He seemed to be this big spender and big supporter, but behind the scenes, this guy was clearly living in financial ruin. And what's also extremely shocking about
He was
this
a
is this
psycho
guy
also.
seemingly donated so much money that he ended up losing his house. And I think his actions against her was just that total result of his entire fake identity collapsing, and he'd rather just destroy everything than face that. But obviously there's this one detail to the case that really stuck with a lot of people, and that's the suitcase. Because the suitcase alone gives room to argue that this was definitely premeditated. He begged for her to stay, she said no, and he had already prepared for what to do if she said no. And for
Like, bro, you're like a literal stranger to this person. Y'all never met in IRL? Y'all never, like, what the fuck, my dude? Like, you don't know this person, but you... never try to reason with a crazy... Like, you would never want... You can never reason with, like, crazy people like this. Like, you tell them you don't know them, they'll just be fucking weird about it. And a lot of... they just get really fucking weird. Okay, let me move back right here. I don't know, like, obsessive, like, fans like this are they're terrifying from what I heard. Like, it happens all the time. Like, sometimes it happens to dudes. You get some obsessive fangirl that's a psycho. And then, same thing. Same thing. Or you get Herbert, you know what? I'm not going to make that joke. I was making a Family Guy reference, just an FYI, but yeah. Jesus Christ. Let's
everything
continue.
I see online, Yoon's death sent a shockwave through Korea's streaming world. Creators started hiring extra security, tightening their boundaries, and rethinking meetups and business deals.
Yeah.
It's just a massive tragedy because the reality is Yoon should have still been alive. And I know some people will say, well, she should have known. But I don't think she should have, honestly. Like, let's be clear. Like, she didn't owe him anything. She didn't have to play therapy.
I mean, the first hint is, oh, this person's so... the first hint I would say is, oh, they donated such a massive sum. That's usually a sign to watch out, because a regular ass person would probably not donate such massive amounts. Like, that guy went insane with the donations mainly because he wanted to prove, oh, I'm better than the other people watching your stream, or some shit like that, like some psychotic shit. And that's why people get all weird, like nervous. I'm pretty sure like streamers would get all like nervous towards like massive people donating to their stream like that, because most stable people will just put, oh yeah, hey, yeah, I don't know, $5. What I'm saying is they don't donate like massive amounts like that. That's usually a sign of they're possibly putting themselves in debt because of some weird obsession, and what you need to do is just block them or make it so they can't donate. Because can't you block users from donating or something? Or refund them?
Therapist to someone
Or
who
something?
lied about
I don't
everything and
know.
was clearly a complete
I know
wreck of a
that's why
person.
some
This is
people,
not her
some
fault.
streamers do
Obviously,
that
she could
too.
have been more careful, but this is still not her fault. It's just sad. I mean, the uncomfortable truth is, if someone's dropping tens of thousands of dollars on a creator they've never met, there's a non-zero chance that person is not doing great mentally. Because this big spender who thought he was untouchable, the guy who spent $70,000 trying to be important, all it took was 12 hours for police to find him and his life to be over forever. And honestly, what a pathetic legacy to leave as a man. Rest in peace, Yoon.
Yeah, that was fucked up. Ugh. Any y'all ever decide to get into like streaming or shit and you're gonna like have your face out there? Be careful. That's my advice, because doesn't matter who you are, at some point you'll probably get some weirdo that gets obsessed with you, whether it's like an obsessed fan or someone who obsessively hates you for some fucking reason. Be careful out there. Just be careful, because you never know. Maybe your fucking creepy stalker looks for you or some shit. I don't know. Again, this is why some people become VTubers, because they don't want their identity out there. I mean, one reason why I do that is I have a VTuber avatar is, well, one, I just don't want my identity out there. Two, let's say I do get popular. I don't want my identity out there. I don't want people to know me outside of that or whatever. You know, basically just keeping my identity safe. Let's say like hell freezes over. I get big. Get that one creepy person. They have no idea what I look like. Unless they're like really fucking creepy, and I don't have social media. That's a thought. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.